Hello everyone and welcome back to Dwellers in the Dark. Doing a video outside. Got a bit of a jungle going on in the garden at the moment. We've had it for a while. This is not going to be an outdoor video on how to do fire or anything like that. But I got really excited when I did those videos. So perhaps I might look at doing some Hobbit related stuff to how to do a secret fire. How rangers might do bits and pieces, sharpening of knives, I don't know, building shelters, and possibly even making a small outdoor forge to see how we can melt down metals and ores. We'll see. That's a later thing. Reason for this video is I'm getting a lot of positive comments on my YouTube. I'm also getting a lot of personal messages from people all over the world asking for the same thing. This is my army list, Dave. What do you think? Well, I'm always hesitant to answer that. I suppose the main reason is because the questions tend to be, this is my army. Is it powerful enough? Will it win? Will it destroy my enemy? Well, yes. It will, if you put a bit of thought into it. But you then have to put the scenario aspect into things. Is your army ready for the multiple scenarios you're going to come up in a tournament? But aside from all of those, I think the key question is the army suitable for your playstyle? Is it what you like to do? Does it start working your mind? Does it thrill you to use various tactics? Is this army set up for those sort of tactics? Coffee time. Let me explain a little bit further. So, if your tactics, if your style of play is to have everything in a mass ball, an unassailable ball that moves slowly across the table, then ideally you're looking at potentially dwarves surrounding some aspect of a magic user, wizard, or you're looking at Angmar surrounding the shade with a few barrow wights in there and a front lineage of orcs kind of semi-surrounded as a ball. If that's your play style, that's great. There's another form of play style, and that is obviously the dwarf front line, the shield wall, used by Minas Tirith, used by dwarfs, can actually be used by hobbits, especially since they have so many pick up stones and chuck them. So, you know, your front battle line approach, if that's your play style, great. And if your play style is more skirmished, as in you're willing to send single models off to do various bits and pieces, or you want to try and find different firing lines, or the scenery dictates that you need to break things up because a bottleneck is not going to win you the game, then that's the first thing I would be looking at when building an army list. What is your play style? What do you want to do? I think the best way of finding out how you play is try Felbeasts. Have a few games with a few mates. They won't love you after it, but try 600-point Felbeasts, 3 Felbeasts and Shell Up. What I'm not suggesting is that is the winning army for you. What I'm suggesting is give it a try. See how difficult it actually is and see all the micromanagement that's needed. If you turn around and go, I didn't enjoy playing with those, not because they're powerful or anything, but I just didn't enjoy the movement, I didn't enjoy how to play them, then that's not your play style. Set up a circular block. Go Angmar or go Mordor or something like that and have a real circular block around a certain character protecting it. Try that. If that's something that you enjoy, even if it's not designed for all its scenarios, but it's something that you enjoy, then that's your play style. If your play style is more, I want a front line of dwarves, or I want a front line of Minas Tirith warriors, or I want a very front line approach with wood elves and a lot of shooting in the back, then that's your play style. Give it a try. If you're more skirmish and you want to start looking at Rivendell Knights, you want to start looking at Rohan, even Outriders, etc., you know, and start moving bits and pieces all over the place, that's your play style. Again, that evolves into different things. For instance, you might want the dwarf line block, but you might want a small segment of Goat Riders. You might want Minas Tirith line block with good spear support behind. Again, you might want a couple of Knights of Minas Tirith, again, to mix the play style up. You know, send a few models here and there. You might even want Rangers, again, spear support, or you could use them as sideliners and individual models and just send them off around the board doing bits and pieces. Whatever your play style is will dictate what your army should be. There is no wrong play style. They're just scenarios that your play style won't work with. For instance, if it's domination, where you have multiple points all over the place, that big circular block may work, or you can make it work partially through the game until you then need to spread out. If it's Lords of Battle, that's fantastic. You're staying in close, you're getting the benefits and synergy of all the other models. There is no one answer. But the most important thing, I think, is when you're actually going to build a list, is love the models, understand the play style that you love the most, and work from there. Now, this is a stepping stone. Top table players, they'll see through your play style. They will have knowledge of how to disrupt that play style, how to get benefits from it, and how to eventually win the game, which is the whole thing about winning a tournament as such at top table. So be flexible, or be prepared to find your play style and then readjust it in time. But practice makes perfect. That's what it's all about. I'm hoping to do a lot more. I'm hoping to do a lot more coverage of army lists. I want to respect the people who actually send me the messages and ask me about the lists. Some of these lists, again, without mentioning playstyle, it's going to be a struggle for me to actually help people write a list and say, yes, you could do this, yes, you could do that. It's just so many multiple factors. I mean, a key example of that is myself and Devon. We spoke regularly for 2 years, nearly every single night. We talked about lists, we talked about tournaments, we talked about just about everything. And it was great. But when it came to lists, he'd come forward with a list, and I'd then go, well, what if, or what if, and what if, and there was a lot of what ifs. And I was feeling that he wasn't actually getting the point I was trying to get across. But what it was my fault. I wasn't understanding his play style. I wasn't understanding, what he loved the most. And some of the armies that I advised him to use, which I quite successfully used, he then struggled with. And the main reason was because they didn't suit his play style. Now, his play style has become very flexible, and he's able to use just about any army, and a very, very good player, Devon. But when you're discussing lists, army lists, you can understand the parameters, the synergies. You can understand the points limitation within the tournament. You can even understand the scenarios and what each scenario needs. But without understanding someone's play style, it becomes difficult to write or to assist in an army list. So I'm going to crack on with a few more videos. What have I got coming up? Well, the ETC is really going big. We've just had a very, very productive meeting with T3, and that's looking positive. I've just sent off an email that's going to go to a big events manager. No word there just yet, but hopefully that'll come about. I've got a lot to do. I've got to sign up Army Painter. They've asked if I want to re-sponsorship for next year, which delighted. And Urban Mats, they're back on. I also have a lot of scenery that I'm going to try and make up. I'm looking at doing, what was it? It was Burning of the Westfold. So I'm looking at doing a Westfold. So I'm looking at whether I'm actually going to start scratch building and then casting some Rowan houses for that. They'll actually be fine detail and stuff. Again, quite exciting stuff. But at the same time, I've got a garden to sort out. I've got an office to move, etc. So a lot of things going on. Ironically, it is the sun splitting the stones here at the moment. So after all the rain and after all the hassle, it'll be a chance to take a look at what I can do bushcraft-wise in the garden. As I said, I'd like to do some videos on how to do a secret, or well, I was going to use the word ninja, that's not it. How to basically keep a fire secret so that you can actually have a fire and cook on it without alerting anyone close by. Something that the hobbits could have done up on Weathertop without a doubt. Possibly looking at how the rangers would have their campfires and cooking. So there'll be a lot of investigation, and hopefully I'll do a video on that. I'd also like to do as I said, an ore making video. So I'll see if I can build a makeshift furnace out the back here. Plans upon plans. And yeah, as I said, I've got a lot of ETC videos. So look, that's a bit of a quick catch up from me. I hope people enjoy this video. Like, subscribe, and share and comment, please. As Owen would say, in fact, I need to get in contact with Owen. We need to sit down and do another video for you guys together. So hopefully we'll get it all sorted. That's enough for me, and I'll speak to you soon. You all take care now.